My beloved child, don't skip this message. Listen carefully because someone has a message for you, and what they have been carrying in their heart has become impossible to ignore. You were not meant to find these words by accident. Out of all the things you could be doing right now, you are here. Stay till the end because what heaven is revealing today may explain feelings, signs, and emotions that have been quietly surrounding your life for a long time. There is someone who has been thinking about you far more than you realize. While you have been focused on your daily responsibilities, your challenges, and your future, this person has been carrying thoughts they have never fully expressed. They have started conversations with you in their mind 100 times. They have imagined telling you how they truly feel. Yet every time the moment seemed close, fear stepped in and silence took its place. Listen carefully because this changes everything. The message they want to share is not something that appeared overnight. These feelings have been growing quietly. Every memory involving you has become more meaningful than before. Every interaction has stayed with them longer than they expected. What once felt like a passing thought has become something they can no longer easily ignore. There were nights when they replayed old conversations. Nights when they wondered if they should reach out. Nights when they questioned whether you would understand what they have been feeling all this time. The more they tried to push those thoughts away, the stronger they returned. Your name continued appearing in their mind. Your memory continued finding its way back into their heart. Stay till the end because what happened next changed everything. One day, they realized they were no longer trying to understand whether you mattered to them. That question had already been answered. Instead, they found themselves wondering whether they had waited too long to say what they truly felt. That realization shook them deeply. My beloved child, heaven reveals that some messages are not written on paper. Some messages are carried in actions, memories, and unspoken emotions. This person has been sending silent messages through the way they think about you, the way they remember you, and the way they compare others to the connection they feel when your name enters their thoughts. Listen carefully because this next revelation is powerful. The message they wish they could deliver is simple. They want you to know that your presence had a greater impact than you realize. Certain conversations changed their perspective. Certain moments gave them comfort during difficult times. Certain memories became sources of strength long after they happened. There is someone listening right now who feels as though their efforts have gone unnoticed. Someone who wonders whether the kindness they showed ever mattered. Heaven wants you to know that genuine kindness leaves lasting impressions. Sometimes people carry gratitude and appreciation for years without ever finding the courage to express it. Stay till the end because this changes everything. The person holding this message is reaching a point where silence feels heavier than honesty. The emotions they once kept hidden are becoming harder to contain. The words they never said are growing louder inside their heart. Something is changing. Something is building. Something is preparing to come to the surface. My beloved child, the story is only beginning. The message this person carries is deeper than you think, more emotional than you imagine, and closer to being revealed than ever before. But the biggest revelation has not yet arrived. In the next chapter, heaven reveals what this person has been desperately wanting to tell you, the truth hidden behind their silence, and the emotional confession that changes everything. Stay till the end, my beloved child. The most important part of the message is still waiting to be opened. My beloved child, don't skip this message. Listen carefully because the story is becoming more emotional now. The message this person has been carrying is growing heavier with each passing day. What started as a quiet feeling has become something they can no longer easily ignore. Stay till the end because heaven is about to reveal what has truly been happening behind the scenes. For a long time, this person convinced themselves that silence was the safest choice. They told themselves that keeping their feelings hidden would protect them from disappointment. They believed that if they never spoke the words, they would never have to face the possibility of rejection. But the heart has a way of revealing truths that the mind tries to hide. No matter how hard they tried to move on, your memory continued returning. Listen carefully because this changes everything. There were moments when they saw something that reminded them of you, and suddenly an entire flood of memories returned. A song. A place. A familiar phrase. The smallest things seemed connected to thoughts of you. What they once considered coincidence started feeling impossible to ignore. There were nights when they wondered whether you ever thought about them too. They questioned whether you remembered certain conversations as clearly as they did. They wondered if the connection they felt was something they experienced alone or if somehow, in ways neither of you could fully explain, you felt it too. These questions stayed with them far longer than they expected. Stay till the end because what happened next changed everything. One evening, while reflecting on everything they had been carrying inside, they reached a powerful realization. The message they wanted to give you was not really about romance, destiny, or dramatic confessions. It was about gratitude. It was about appreciation. It was about acknowledging the impact you had on their life. My beloved child, heaven reveals that some people enter our lives and leave footprints on our hearts without even realizing it. They teach us lessons. They inspire growth. They help us through difficult seasons. This person has begun understanding that your presence was one of those gifts in their journey. Listen carefully because this next revelation is powerful. The message hidden inside their heart is becoming clearer. They want you to know that your kindness mattered. Your encouragement mattered. The moments you shared mattered. Even if they never said it before, even if they acted as though everything was ordinary, those experiences left a lasting impression. As the days passed, they began feeling something unexpected. Regret. Not because of something you did, but because of the words they never spoke. They started wondering how different things might have been if they had expressed themselves more honestly. They wondered whether fear had prevented them from sharing something important. Stay till the end because this changes everything. The silence that once felt comfortable now feels heavy. The distance that once seemed manageable now feels more noticeable. The message they have been carrying is asking to be heard. It is asking to be acknowledged. It is asking to finally step out of the shadows. My beloved child, there is wisdom hidden within this story. Life moves quickly. Opportunities come and go. People often assume there will always be more time to say what they truly feel. Yet some of the most meaningful words remain unspoken simply because people wait too long. Listen carefully because the story is approaching a major turning point. This person's emotions are becoming impossible to ignore. Their appreciation is growing stronger. Their understanding of your importance is becoming clearer. What was once hidden is beginning to rise to the surface. Something is shifting inside them. Something is awakening. Something is preparing them to face a truth they have avoided for far too long. The message they carry is no longer just a thought. It is becoming a realization. But the biggest revelation is still ahead. In the next chapter, heaven reveals the emotional truth this person finally admits to themselves, the confession hidden behind their silence, and the powerful moment that transforms uncertainty into clarity. Stay till the end, my beloved child. The most important part of this message has not yet been revealed. My beloved child, don't skip this message. Listen carefully because the story has now reached the moment where everything begins to change. The message this person has been carrying inside their heart is no longer something they can easily ignore. What was once a quiet thought has become a constant presence in their mind. Stay till the end because heaven is about to reveal the emotional truth they have finally stopped running from. For a long time, this person tried to convince themselves that their feelings would eventually fade. They believed that time would make things easier. They thought that if they stayed busy enough, focused enough, distracted enough, they could move forward without ever confronting what they truly felt. But every attempt to forget only seemed to bring them back to the same place. Somehow, your memory continued finding its way into their thoughts. Listen carefully because this changes everything. The more they reflected on the past, the more they realized that their strongest memories all seemed connected to moments involving you. Certain conversations still made them smile. Certain memories still carried emotion. Certain experiences still felt meaningful long after they happened. What they once dismissed as simple nostalgia began feeling much deeper. There were nights when they sat alone replaying old moments in their mind. They remembered things they thought they had forgotten. The way you encouraged them during difficult times. The way you listened when others did not. The way you made ordinary moments feel important. These memories became impossible to ignore because they revealed something they had been avoiding for a very long time. Stay till the end because what happened next changed everything. One day, they stopped asking themselves whether they missed you. They stopped asking whether you mattered. They stopped asking whether the connection was real. Deep down, they already knew the answers. The real question became much more difficult. What should they do with the truth they had finally accepted? My beloved child, heaven reveals that some emotional truths take time to understand. Sometimes people must travel through confusion before arriving at clarity. Sometimes they must experience distance before recognizing value. Sometimes they must lose certainty before discovering what truly matters to them. Listen carefully because this next revelation is powerful. The message they have been carrying is no longer hidden behind fear. It is no longer buried beneath excuses. The truth they finally admitted to themselves is simple. You had a greater impact on their life than they ever expected. Your presence changed them. Your influence remained with them. Your memory stayed alive long after they believed it would disappear. As this realization grew stronger, they began looking at the connection differently. They no longer saw it as a random chapter. They no longer viewed it as a passing moment. Instead, they began recognizing it as something meaningful. Something important. Something that helped shape who they are today. Stay till the end because this changes everything. The confession hidden behind their silence is not necessarily about dramatic promises or fairy tale endings. It is about acknowledgement. It is about finally accepting that certain people leave marks on our hearts that time cannot easily erase. It is about admitting that some connections continue teaching lessons long after the moment itself has passed. My beloved child, there is wisdom hidden within this story. The people who impact us most are not always the people we expect. Sometimes a conversation changes our path. Sometimes a memory strengthens us during difficult times. Sometimes someone's presence reminds us of qualities we value most in ourselves and others. Listen carefully because the story is approaching its greatest turning point. The uncertainty that once clouded this person's heart is beginning to disappear. The confusion is fading. The truth is becoming clearer. They are no longer running from what they feel. They are no longer pretending the connection meant less than it did. Something inside them is awakening. Something inside them is becoming honest. Something inside them is preparing to embrace the reality they spent so long avoiding. The message they have been carrying is no longer just a feeling. It is becoming a truth they can finally accept. But the most beautiful part of the story is still ahead. In the final chapter, heaven reveals how this truth transforms their heart, the lesson hidden within the connection, and the powerful ending that turns reflection into gratitude, uncertainty into peace, and silence into understanding. Stay till the end, my beloved child. The best part of this message has not yet been opened. My beloved child, if you have stayed until this moment, then listen carefully. This is the final chapter. This is where the message hidden in silence finally finds its meaning. This is where confusion turns into understanding, where unanswered questions begin to fade, and where the story reaches a beautiful ending filled with peace, gratitude, and hope. Stay till the end because the message heaven wants you to hear is more powerful than you realize. For so long, this person carried thoughts they never fully expressed. They carried memories they never shared. They carried appreciation they never put into words. Life continued moving forward, yet something about your presence remained with them. The lessons, the conversations, the moments you shared became part of their story. Even when time passed, those memories refused to disappear. Listen carefully because this changes everything. The greatest realization they experienced was not simply that they thought about you. It was that you helped shape who they became. Certain words encouraged them during difficult seasons. Certain moments reminded them of the kind of person they wanted to become. Certain memories gave them strength when they needed it most. The impact you made was greater than either of you may have realized at the time. There were moments when they wished they had spoken more openly. Moments when they wished they had shared their gratitude sooner. Moments when they wished they had been brave enough to say what was truly on their heart. Yet heaven reveals that understanding often arrives exactly when it is needed most. Some lessons require time. Some truths require reflection. Stay till the end because what happened next changed everything. One day, they stopped focusing on what they should have done differently and started appreciating what was already there. Instead of dwelling on missed opportunities, they focused on the value of the connection itself. Instead of carrying regret, they began carrying gratitude. That shift changed everything. My beloved child, heaven reveals that not every important message is meant to create drama. Some messages exist to bring healing. Some messages exist to bring closure. Some messages exist to remind people that their presence mattered more than they knew. This person's message carries all of those things. Listen carefully because this next revelation is powerful. The message they wanted you to hear is simple: thank you. Thank you for the kindness you showed. Thank you for the encouragement you gave. Thank you for the memories you helped create. Thank you for being part of a chapter that left a lasting impact. Whether they said it before or not, those feelings are real. As they embraced this truth, something unexpected happened. The weight they had been carrying began to lift. The silence no longer felt painful. The uncertainty no longer felt overwhelming. Understanding brought peace. Gratitude brought healing. Acceptance brought freedom. Stay till the end because this changes everything. The beautiful ending of this story is not about chasing the past. It is not about forcing outcomes. It is not about living in regret. The beautiful ending is recognizing the value of meaningful connections and allowing those experiences to become sources of wisdom rather than sources of sadness. My beloved child, there is wisdom hidden within this message. Never underestimate the impact you have on others. A kind word can stay with someone for years. A moment of encouragement can help someone through a difficult season. A genuine connection can leave a lasting impression long after the moment itself has passed. Listen carefully because this is the most important revelation of all. You do not always see the difference you make in people's lives. You do not always hear the gratitude they carry. You do not always know how much your presence means to them. Yet heaven reveals that your influence often reaches farther than you imagine. There is someone listening right now who needs to hear this truth. The love you give is not wasted. The kindness you show is not forgotten. The support you offer matters. Even when people fail to express it, your presence can become part of their healing, their growth, and their journey forward. And here is the beautiful ending heaven wants you to carry with you tonight. The message was never about loss. It was about appreciation. It was never about regret. It was about understanding. It was never about what could have been. It was about recognizing the value of what already was. So walk forward with confidence, my beloved child. Continue sharing kindness. Continue offering encouragement. Continue being the person you are. The right people will remember it. The right people will appreciate it. The right people will carry those memories with them for years to come. Because one day, you may discover that a simple conversation changed someone's life. A small act of kindness helped someone keep going. A moment you barely remember became a memory they never forgot. The ending of this story is not sadness. The ending is gratitude. The ending is not confusion. The ending is peace. The ending is not uncertainty. The ending is understanding. And the ending is a reminder that the connections built with sincerity, kindness, and genuine care often become some of the most meaningful gifts we ever give each other. That is the message heaven wanted you to receive today, and that is the beautiful ending of this story.